Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Foster versus Hernandez fight. If you're on your round here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like video, and let's get straight into it. So, going into this fight, Foster is 20-2 with 11 KOs, and Hernandez is 34-1 with 31 KOs. This fight is for the WBC World Super Featherweight title. Foster's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Vargas, and Hernandez's last fight was a win via KO in round 3 versus Montez. Foster is 30 and Hernandez is 25. This is in Hernandez's home country of Mexico. Foster's losses have come versus Chinea in 2016 and Taya in 2015. Since then, he's on a 10-fight win streak and progressed a lot as a fighter since then. Hernandez's loss came via KO in round 1 versus Gutierrez in 2019. Speak a bit more about what I just said. Of course, this being for a world title, in my opinion, a great fight for the title. It's Foster's first defence coming off the victory from last time out, and how's he going to be able to deal with the explosive puncher, which is Hernandez? Foster, like I said last time, it was a very good victory for him against an opponent who's been proven as a great fighter and is going to go down as a great fighter, but he was moving up in weight, and the fact that Foster still managed to school him is very impressive and put on a very good performance. It's, like I said, very impressive, and not many people have been able to do that to Vargas. I know it's a move up in weight and all of that, but still not many people have been able to do that to him. And Hernandez last fight, another dominating knockout performance, and now moving up in opponents, in my opinion, a step up in opponents here. Of course, Foster, the older fighter, but in my opinion, in his prime at the moment, Hernandez, I'm not entirely sure if this is his prime yet or if he's just possibly going to be entering it soon. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure this fight will be the kind of maybe deciding fight. But I suppose even if Hernandez loses, I mean, he could still rebuild. Of course, this being in Hernandez's home country of Mexico, a little bit surprises from certain people that this fight was in Mexico, but I'm sure there's some financial side of it for benefits for both fighters. But like I said, there's surprises that Hernandez is going to be in his home country for this, and so of course with every fight that could sway the judges to an extent. Like I said, Foster's losses, both a while ago now. Like I said, he's developed a lot since then. Now on a 10-fight win streak, doing very well in his last few performances. Hernandez, that knockout versus Gutierrez, it was an unexpected one which, like I mentioned, not many people were thinking was going to be the case, because Hernandez was on such a dominant run since then, well, before then, and he just kind of came in, was overconfident in my opinion, and just got caught and didn't know how to react because he'd not been in that position before. But now he's faced it, now he's dealt with it, and now he's managed to come back since then, rebuild, and then been able to get into a shot like he has now. It's credit to him, but there's definitely shown slight weaknesses there from that performance, even though that was a good few years ago now. Foster's as a fighter, he is, of course, like I mentioned, coming off the big win, so he's going to have a lot of kind of momentum following him now. He's a slick, fast fighter. He doesn't really give the opponents respect, which I do like to see. Sometimes you see fighters give their opponents way too much respect, and in an opponent like Hernandez, I mean, the one time he didn't really get respect was against Gutierrez, and that's where he lost. But is that just going to be a one-time thing or not? He's a fast starter, he's got great counters, he's accurate, he will make you pay with any kind of little slight mistake that you may make, or a little opening that he finds. He's got good timing, he finds his rhythm quite well, he's always going to respond to any shot that you throw, he's got a good chin, he can roll with the shots well defensively, that's nice to see. He is willing to take a step back as well to then be able to find more space and then be able to find that counter from that, which a lot of the time I don't see fighters do enough, and it is something which is really necessary defensive wise, and it can open up so much more space just by taking the slightest step back and then being able to reassess and then be able to pick the counter shot from that. So that is very good to see. Of course, like I said, great counters, gonna make you pay. Hernandez in a fight like this is possibly a fight which might go against him, a possible style like that, because of the fact of he's probably going to get hit and be open to get a hit if he is overcommitting, and that's where Foster's going to find success. Negatives of Foster, he's not, in my opinion, faced this much power before. He's not had to deal with it before, so how is he going to deal with it? He does take a shot to give a shot. I don't think his defensive movement is crazily impressive, So he does take a shot to give a shot, and if he's taken a shot from Hernandez and, like I mentioned, not faced that kind of power before, that's where Hernandez could find success. He might be coming in with his own sense of overconfidence, and that is something which Hernandez could definitely take out of him if he's, like I mentioned, if he comes in, doesn't really respect him, walks him down, and maybe tries to stand and trade a little bit more, then I don't think that's the way that he should be going about it. I feel like that's where he can definitely get caught by Hernandez, and that's where it could be an early night for Foster. But if he picks his shots and kind of moves around the ring a little bit more and opens up the ring a bit more, then he could definitely find more success. And he does walk onto shots as well. Well, like I say, when he's coming in a bit overconfident, he will walk onto shots as well. Hernandez as a fighter, he's got, of course, the inevitable factor or obvious factor of that explosive power, that one shot knockout power, which he's proved in many fights now, and it comes with every single one of his punches from whichever position he throws it from, to the body, to the head, in every different type of punch you can think of. It's very impressive, and not many fighters have that, and the fact that he has it in this lower weight division as well, it's very good to see. He's aggressive, he's a pressure fighter, he can flip momentum easily with that power. He's punishing with every shot, like I mentioned. He improves throughout, but he can also just come on very quickly as well. So I think he improves throughout, but he hasn't experienced them later rounds yet. He doesn't respect his opponents either. He's faced that adversity, like I've said. He's, in my opinion, also gaining a bit of composure and a little bit more discipline with his performances, which is definitely what I've seen to be a necessary factor, and I think that's what he's learnt from the defeat. And it's coming to show a little bit more in his more recent performances, and of course the inevitable factor that he is a great finisher. When he can get you hurt and when he sees you hurt, he will let his hands go, and he's very good at being able to stop the fight and end the fight there and then. Negatives about him: he of course is facing a step up in opposition here. How is he going to be able to deal with an actual better skilled boxer? His accuracy can be off at times, which is definitely something which Foster can punish. And like I said, if he is going to be moving around the ring and not staying in one position at one time and trying to stand and trade, then Hernandez could definitely be overswinging, overcommitting, getting caught with counter shots of his own, and then he might not be too sure, or he might be getting flashbacks to when he got knocked out himself. He does rely on his power, in my opinion, a bit too much, and if you are against a very skilled counter puncher, that can make you miss. How do you rely on that power, or how are you gonna deal with it? What are you gonna go to if that power isn't there available to you? He gets countered. He can be caught out, like I mentioned. He walks onto shots. Overconfidence himself might be creeping through as well, with the fact that he's had recent performances being so good. He will put his hands down as well. It's also not a good thing if he's coming in overcommitting and leaving his hands down. And what's he like in the later rounds? We've not really experienced him or seen him in the later rounds yet. So how's he going to deal in the later rounds against an opponent who is more used to being in them rounds and is well conditioned enough being in them rounds? Foster is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Hernandez will win via TKO in round 5. I think there is, like I mentioned, multiple ways that fighters to win this. I think Foster possibly has the more ways in which he can win it, but I think Hernandez is just going to come in and catch Foster out, and I just don't believe Foster's going to have the movement to be able to move away, and there is just that one shot, and that's what I think Foster could possibly end up walking onto, and I believe he will go down. Like I said, he's got a good chin, but I think it will come as a surprise to him, this Hernandez power, and then he'll be able to get him out of there in round 5. But if it goes past there, then it's anybody's game, in my opinion, and well, I'd say it's more Foster's game, but I don't think it will. I think Hernandez will win via TKO in round 5. Where would he go on to next? Possible opponents: Cordina versus Vasquez. It's a possible fight. The winner of that, you never know. Cordina was speaking to fight Foster, you never know. Wood could be a possible opponent as well. But then there's a few other fights. There's a couple of the big ones, but you never know of possible opponents either. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Like if you did, like, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.